Something I've learned is always offer something of value, whether they want it or not. So when you ask
Mhm.
them about, are you selling the house at some point? And if they say no, or maybe we don't know yet, or, my first thought would be, well, would it be helpful to you if I gave you a net sheet so you could kind of see what fees are associated when the time comes to sell and give it to them with no expectation? But of
Yep.
course, have all your contact info in there because they will remember that later on that you offered something of value with nothing in return wanted.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I totally agree. We need to find several and kind of pre-plan if we can for several places to insert those offers of value. Now, Lynn, where I would make a small adjustment is where I find the gap to offer that item of value. So for me, I usually want to set it up with a preliminary statement or question. So I want to kind of baby step into the value. So an example that I've used, and this is strictly an example. I don't want a bunch of you guys running out and saying Bruce said this is the way to do it. Okay. So an example of giving that property value, I might say, "Hey, totally understand. It sounds like you guys have other things to deal with before you even talk about it with the family." Okay. And most of the time they're going to go, "Yeah, we got a lot on our plate." Okay, perfect. Not a problem. Listen, if the time ever comes that you decide to sell, could you keep my number and give me a call? Remember, that's not because I'm not going to follow up with them. I just want them to feel like they have more control over it. And then I'm going to say, by any chance, has your accountant asked you for an updated value on the property for tax purposes? Now, what are the odds that their accountant has asked them for an updated value on the property? Slim to none. Oh, okay, not a problem. They're probably going to ask for that in the future. Most of the time, appraisals run $600-700 in this area. Would you have any interest in getting that for free? Okay, what are the odds that they're going to say no? Pretty slim, pretty slim. Now, maybe they're being super resistant and they say no. Some people are just skeptical, and that's okay. I'm fine with skepticism. I'm a bit skeptical. That's why I kind of do that intermediate step where I completely agree with their position before I offer value, is because I kind of want to remove any possibility that they're going to be skeptical. But kind of doing it that way, and then hey, any chance you might want that for free? Not that many people are going to say no, and now that's going to set you up, Lynn, for a really good CMA or evaluation of the property. All right. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. That's just one way to do it. But I think that what Lynn just said is beautiful. Back to before the real estate topic is brought up. So let's say I'm going into a probate call. My offer is a concierge type offer. So basically, what I do, and this is how I would explain it, is I kind of act like a concierge, providing like a turnkey service for folks going through probate. Do you guys have everything handled at this point? Two options. Do you have everything handled at this point? Or is there anything I could take off your plate? They're going to lean into, we've got it handled. Why? You're a stranger on the phone. Do they have it handled? Probably not. But again, we're a stranger on the phone. So that they'll probably go there. Now to Lynn's point, offer some value. So normally what I do is go, "Hey, completely understand. So I'm going to baby step into the offer. I totally understand. It kind of sounds like you guys have everything covered for the time being. Weren't looking for any extra help today." Yeah, that's right. We got everything situated. Perfect. Tell you what, I've got a packet of some resources that are available that you might need as you go through probate. You might not. I'll just drop those in the mail to you. I want you to do me a favor, save it. If anything ever comes up that you need help with or you need a resource, just give me a call. Is that okay? So all of these, I've practiced these. I've tried a lot of different ways of saying them. Almost everything that I'm doing here with what I'm describing is designed to where only the most skeptical say no. These questions that I ask and these things that I offer have an insanely high likelihood of getting someone to agree. Now, it doesn't mean that they've agreed to sell a house with me. It just means that they've agreed to that little baby step. And then I can move on to a different topic after. So I want everyone to recognize that your first objective on these calls is to get rapport, make sure you're on the same page. And that means if they say something that's completely wrong, don't tell them they're wrong. You can address their wrongness later in the call if you want. Your second objective is to set them up to read between the lines. And between the lines for real estate purposes is it's too early for us to tell right now, which tells us there is a house. Okay. And too early means that they probably are too early to have decided, but it's most likely going to be sold. Right. And now your marketing can take over, and just make sure your marketing and your follow-up prospecting game is good. If it is, you guys should convert 20% of your pipeline. All right. Personally, my goal is 25 people in my pipeline identified every month. So every month